Welcome to the Achievement Apex podcast, the podcast where I share my knowledge and experience on trading psychology, strategy, risk management, and everything else that you need to know to take your trading to the next level. I'm your host, Brendan Murphy, and without further ado, let's get ready to learn something new that you can use to improve your trading results. Okay, so we know that less than 2% of day traders are actually successful long term. That means that those 2% are doing something that the other 98% are not doing. And this episode is all about finding out what that 2% do that the 98% don't. Basically, what do pros do that amateurs don't do? So in this podcast, I'm going to go over the 9 things that separate the pros from the amateurs. Number 1, pro day traders, they have a strategy, first of all, but secondly, they stick to that strategy like a robot. That means they're always following their strategy, even if they look at it and they think, oh, I'm not so confident in that trade. They realize that they made that strategy when they were thinking clearly, and therefore they should follow that strategy because on average, that strategy will produce more winners than losers, bigger profits than losses. Therefore, it will be profitable long term. Whereas conversely, an amateur trader might look at their strategy that they made that they think is good, and then they go, oh no, I don't think that trade's going to be good, so I'm not going to take that one, or I'm going to go against the strategy here. And when they do that, their returns don't align with the strategy, so therefore their trading journal is pretty much useless, and so is their backtest, because their trading journal is based on half of the strategy data, half of winging it, and then the backtest is also based on half of strategy data and half of winging it. So therefore, you can't really draw any real conclusions from that data, so you can't improve your approach, so you can't become profitable. And that's why the pros stick to their strategy no matter what, because they realize that data is more valuable than getting that one trade that looked bad. They realize that if that one bad trade becomes sort of like a weekly thing, every week the strategy says trade here, and you're like, oh, it's bad. Does it again next week, and next week, and next week. It's only 4 losses, right? So you lost a tiny bit of money, but then you have the data to conclusively say, when this happens, the strategy loses. Therefore, I can adjust my strategy so that it avoids that loser in the future. So now you've got an even better strategy that avoids that loser, and it makes more profit, and you know it because you backtest and you have reliable data. So that's the first thing that separates the pros from the amateurs. They have a strategy and they trade it like a robot. The second thing they do is they backtest their strategy. If at some point the beginners realize, okay, I need a strategy if I want to make money, because looking at the chart and winging it simply doesn't work. And then they make their strategy and they start trading it. They might win a bit, they might lose a bit, and then they make a new strategy. They follow that, they lose. They make a new strategy. They follow it, they lose, and so on and so on. Why is it that they're making a strategy like the pros do, but they're still losing? And that's because they don't backtest their strategy. Backtesting means going back 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and taking every single trade that would have aligned with your strategy, documenting the results. So then before you even put your money into that strategy, you already have years worth of data of if that strategy would have been profitable in the past. Now, that doesn't guarantee that it will be profitable in the future, but it sure does increase the likelihood. What's more likely to win? A strategy that has been winning consistently for 5 years, or a strategy you don't know? You'd rather follow the one that has 5 years of consistent wins, wouldn't you? Obviously. So that's why the pros backtest, to get that data so they can use that, develop a good approach, then get real data from live trading, and then adjust their approach again. And most beginners simply either don't know about, or more than likely don't want to backtest. I know 6 years ago when I was making strategies, I would be like, I don't want to do that. It's boring. I'd rather trade it. I'm so confident in it. It's good. I'm going to trade it, right? And I always lost money because backtesting, it's like, oh, it's so boring. I don't want to go back and go over, look at the market, look at it. Oh yeah, there's one. Okay, go ahead. There's one, and waste what, like 2 hours of my life, depending how long I'm backtesting, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. That's boring as hell. I'd rather just trade. But day trading is not about having fun. It's about making money. So if you want to make money, you better take it seriously and treat it like a job. That means backtesting your strategy. Number 3, pros don't get emotional when they trade. So for example, greed. When they're having a good trade, they don't double down so that they can get even bigger winners, because they know that on average, they're already getting good winners and that generates profit. They don't get fear of missing out. When they see an opportunity, there's been a tweet from Elon Musk, okay, Bitcoin's going up. They're like, no, I stick to my strategy. I know that my strategy wins. Why would I go ahead and dump a heap of money in Bitcoin based on Elon Musk's tweet when I'm already late to it. He tweeted hours ago, it's already started, I've missed the opportunity. I'm not gonna buy in late because what I'm doing works, so there's no need to change it. They don't panic. So for example, a war breaks out, stocks are crashing. They don't go, okay, damn it, sell everything. They don't do that. They're like, okay, I've got a strategy. On average, it wins. I just follow it. If the strategy says sell when all hell breaks loose, then they sell. If the strategy says hold, they hold. If it says buy more, they buy more. And quite often investors will buy when everyone's in panic, and they will sell when everyone's feeling greedy. For example, Bitcoin at the top, everyone's hearing about it, everyone's buying, everyone's getting greedy. The real traders at the top, they sold, they took their profits, everyone else lost, and they're probably still holding now when its value is like half of what it was. Similarly, right now, when everyone's panicking, no one's talking about it, people are like, oh, Bitcoin's dead. The real traders, they're buying now. They're accumulating Bitcoin for its next bull run, and then again, they're gonna sell it at the top when the amateurs buy. They don't doubt themselves. They've done the strategy, they've done back testing, they have a ton of statistics, so they know that it's successful. And they say, okay, I've done my homework, this strategy works, why would I doubt it? Whereas if you're winging it, you're not back testing it, you're watching tweets, you're like, okay, there's so much stuff, I've done no research, how could I be sure in myself? Well, you couldn't because you have no data. And then they don't revenge trade. If they take a loss, they realize it's just a business expense, it's part of the game, and then they move on to the next trade. Whereas beginners, they might take a loss, say, no, I'm gonna get it back. Next trade, I'm going double so I can make it back and still get profit. And then they lose 4 times, 8 times, and so on, revenge trading. And that's why the pros don't trade emotionally. They stay composed, they trade logically, and they follow their plan. Number 4, pros don't hold on to their losers. So, a very common thing you see happen when beginners place a trade, it goes against them a little bit. They think, it's okay, I'll just wait until it comes back up and then I'll get out at break even so that I don't lose. And then it goes down a little more and they say, okay, I'm just gonna wait till it gets back up to that last point it was at. Goes down more. Okay, I'll get out when it goes back up to the last point again. And it keeps going down, and then all of a sudden they're down $200 when at the start it was a $25 loss that they didn't want to take. And now they're like, oh my God, if I had just taken the $20 loss, I would have been okay, instead of being down $250, 10 times as much. And eventually they can't take it anymore, so they sell at that $250 loss, and that's when the market comes back up and they think, oh my God, why did I sell? That's like the death cycle of beginner traders. I know, I've been there, you've probably been there, everyone's been there when they trade, they hold on to a loser when they shouldn't. Just take the small loss, move on to the next trade, because that's a big thing that separates the pros from the amateurs. They don't get attached to any single trade, they realize it's the average of lots of trades over a long time that makes the money. And on the flip side of that, number 5, pros let their winners run. So, something that I used to do years ago is if I placed a trade and it started to go up into a profit, I would close it early and take that profit. There's this common saying, you can't go broke taking profits, and it couldn't be further from the truth. You absolutely can go broke taking profits. If you have a strategy and you have a stop loss and you have a take profit and you back test it, and then on average, you have a winner of $100 and you have a loser of $75 with a win rate of 50%. You follow that strategy and you will make profit long term. Now you start taking your profits at $50 instead of $100 because you want to be sure that you're getting those profits and avoiding the losses. Yeah, your win rate will go up a little bit, but now what happens is your average win is $50 and your average loss is still $75. So now you've got to be winning over twice as much just to break even, but you probably have not doubled your win rate. So now, even though you're taking profits earlier and you're getting more winners, your capital starts going down. And that's because you didn't let your winner run up and hit the take profit. This is such a common thing. I used to do the same thing when I was a beginner trader. I have some clients that say the same thing. Oh, can I just take the profit? It won't hurt, right? Because then, we could avoid a loser. And the answer is no, don't take the profit. Wait until it hits your take profit. Don't manually close. The take profit is set for a reason. And you know that your strategy generates trades that on average will produce profit over time. So follow that strategy. Let the winner run. Number 6, pro traders keep a trading journal and they track literally everything. They want statistics of everything so that they can fine-tune their trading approach based on any little statistic that is lagging. So for example, they're going to track their entry price, their exit price, their take profit, their stop loss, their trailing stop, their moving averages. They're going to trade other indicators. They're going to track their emotions. They're going to track literally everything that they could possibly use to give themselves an advantage. And then they track all of these things. They track them over a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months. After 6 months, you've got 300 trades with all of this data that you can use, and you can say, okay, on Wednesdays at 5 p.m., I'm always trading terribly. So now I'm not going to trade at Wednesday, 5 p.m. I can also see that when the entry price is above 3,500, I tend to lose. So now I'm not entering if the entry price is above 3,500. Similarly, if the moving average has this kind of slope in terms of dollars over time, then I'm not going to trade on that because that performs poorly as well. Now I can see that when I'm feeling like this, and then I can see that the entry price is below this and I go long, then I tend to perform really, really well. Let's increase the position size on those. And then the next 6 months goes, your performance has drastically increased. And now you have a new set of data that you can once again adjust like that. That is the real power of keeping statistics on all of your trades. It's not just so you can say, yeah, I made this much money in this much time. It's so that you can say, this is what's working, this is what's not. Let's avoid what's not working and do more of what is working. You do this over time and your returns get better and better and better and better. Your risk gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's why day trading is a long-term game. Beginners always see it as okay, let's get day trading and get rich quick. But it's really opposite. It's more like you start, you lose money because you suck, you stick with it, you get okay, you break even, you get statistics, you get good, you get better statistics, you get even gooder. It's a long process, but eventually it pays off because of the knowledge that you accumulate and the statistics you get, and then you can refine your approach and so on and so on. And that's why you keep a trading journal and track everything. Number 7, pro day traders are constantly studying the market, they're studying technical indicators, they're trying to improve their approach in any way whatsoever. And they can do this based on their trading journal, and they definitely do. But there's also things such as looking at the news, looking at new indicators, looking at other indicators that you could also implement into the strategy to avoid losses or to get bigger winners. They're constantly trying to improve their approach based on new information, something new, a different approach, maybe a new statistic they can track. No matter what they're doing, they want to get smarter. They want to learn more about trading. They want to learn more about indicators, more about technical, more about fundamental. Anything they can do to get an even bigger edge over the market, they're doing it. They're not just sitting there at their screen winging it, then going and playing video games. That doesn't mean that they're grinding 24/7 and then they don't have time for having fun. Sure, I play video games because I find it fun, but it's not like I'm always video game, then quickly trade, then always video game. I spend the first half of my day doing study, doing work, getting an edge over the market, and then once I've finished that, then I play the games. It's about a balance, right? They don't spend all of their time working because that defeats the purpose, right? We trade for freedom. We want to be able to pick our own hours. We want to be able to work when we want and make good money and have freedom so that we can play the games, right? But that doesn't mean that they don't spend a lot of time studying and improving their approach. Number 8, professional day traders have realistic expectations. Pretty much every beginner, when they start day trading, thinks, I'm going to day trade, I'm going to triple my money in a week, and in 1 year, I'm going to be a millionaire, and in 2 years, I'm going to be a billionaire. I am the Wolf of Wall Street. Everybody get out of my way. But the reality couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at the greatest investors of all time, such as Warren Buffett, his average yearly return is like 20%, something like that. What makes you think that you're going to triple your money every week for the rest of your life? You're absolutely not going to be able to do that. You might be able to triple it for 1 week, trading stupid and extremely risky. You might be able to triple it for 2. You might even get lucky and triple it for 3. What happens in the 4th week when you risk too much on a bad trade, you hit margin closeout and you've lost all your money. You're going to feel terrible. If you can double your money every year, which is incredible performance, by the way, most people will never see that. But if you can double your money every year for 30 years, you're going to be a multi-billionaire. The numbers are stupid, okay? If you can get 50% return every year, then in 30 years, you're going to be 100 millionaire or at least 8 or 9 figures. The numbers are stupid. You don't realize how little you have to make to be extremely rich in the future. If you start with $10,000 and you get 5% return per month, in 5 years, you're going to be like in the very high 5 figures. You might even be in the 6 figures in just 5 years. The returns are really crazy, and you don't have to be doubling your money all the time, all the time, all the time. Most day traders are going to be shooting for yearly profits between 10% and 100%. It's a big range, and it depends what your risk appetite is. If you have a very low risk appetite, you might aim for 10 to 25%. If you're a bit more of a risk taker, you might aim for 30 to 60. And if you're absolute balls to the walls, then 100 would probably be your goal. But returns greater than 100% per year are simply not necessary and probably means you're taking too much risk. So make sure your expectations are realistic. Realize what level of profit you can actually expect to achieve if you're following good rules, you have a good strategy, you back test it, and you follow it religiously. And lastly, professional traders don't social trade. They don't sit in chat rooms, they don't sit in discords, they don't have some kind of signal service, they don't see someone comment, quick, buy this stock because of this tweet. It's gonna go up, crazy, buy in now. I see so many amateurs do this. They're like, oh hey, what do you think of this stock? I saw it on Reddit, should I buy it? Absolutely not. Why would you trade that stock if it's not in your strategy? Yes, you are gonna miss some pump and dump opportunities by ignoring this, but on average, you're gonna lose by following these things. If you just follow some random signal by some random person, you're gonna lose money because we know that 98% of people fail in the market. So if you're listening to a random signal from a random person, there's a 98% chance that he's losing money too. Do you wanna be like him? No, the 2% of people are not following signals by these other random people at random times, on random charts, on random time frames. They've got their strategy and they stick to it religiously because they know that it works over a long time frame. So that means that social trading is a no-no for professional traders. So if you are social trading, you might want to sort of stop that and get yourself a real strategy that produces real results over the long term. That concludes my list of the 9 things that professional traders do that amateur traders don't. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you have a friend or someone that can benefit too, please share it with them. Leave a comment on other things you would like to learn or something that you learned in the video. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with more content from me. We have a Facebook group. In there, I share free trading strategies every single week that you can implement to make profit. Or if you want to take it a step further, you can visit my website and book a call with me. I'll do a free analysis of your trading and we can see how a custom-made strategy can benefit you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the group for a trading strategy later in the week. Bye-bye.